It's December and this is the Library Roadshow. On the show today, teens, jeans, and Baskervilles coming right up. Welcome to the December edition of the Library Roadshow. I'm Mary Stein, and this is a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. We are wrapping up an eventful year at the library. A lot of work behind the scenes resulted in the installation of self-check kiosks at every location to provide a convenient option to the checkout line. We added great new databases and digital resources. Our new small business service got off to a great start, and the Career Center and Baton Rouge Room presented special lectures and workshops all year long. From a programming viewpoint, we premiered our own micro-comic con, held a terrific One Book, One Community series all spring long based on Hidden Figures, and we hosted nationally known authors Kate Moore, Kwame Alexander, author-illustrator Brian Floca, Mary Mannheim, and many more. We celebrated all things STEMmy and steamy with the Maker Fair, GIS Day, and Red Stick International Fest, as well as monthly workshops and classes. We offered you a summer full of high-caliber programs for all ages and rounded out the fall with Attic Treasures and the Pride Cheneyville History Fest. As 2018 draws to a close, pick up a copy of our monthly newsletter, The Source, to see the listing of holiday events. I'm especially happy to draw your attention to concerts by the Sweet Adelines, the Baton Rouge chapter of the American Harp Society, the Lanyap Dulcimer Society, and the EBR Talented Music Ensemble. We've also scheduled individual performances by harpist Gina Paredes and Mike Anderson, the Dulcimer Guy. Mike will also visit libraries as Hugo Kringle, Santa's younger brother, to share songs and stories about growing up with his famous elf. Add the Discovery Dome's Let It Snow presentation, which is on tour throughout the entire library system, plus the many movies, activities, and programs scheduled for children, teens, and adults, and you have a full December. Check it out at ebrpl.com.
Free access to books, audio, and library resources are just a few of the benefits available to you when you get a library card. Need free access to a computer? You get that. Want free access to premium digital resources like Mango Languages and lynda.com? You get that. Need to book a meeting space? You get that. Heck, you can even check out a telescope or use a digital printer with your library card. If you live in East Baton Rouge Parish, pick up your free library card from your local branch library today. Premium access to everything the library system has to offer is waiting for you.
For every kind of service or resource that the library offers in the real world, we also try to offer something to parallel it in the digital library. Now, for hundreds of years, printed encyclopedias have offered a one-stop shop for students of every age, including those of us who just want to broaden our knowledge. We have several encyclopedias online, including my favorite, the World Book, but one is never enough. Credo Reference is a great source to help you begin your research. Adam St. Pierre joins us now to explain in the digital download.
Starting a paper or essay? Or maybe you want to explore a little bit about a topic without delving too deep. If that's the case, the library has a digital resource for you in Credo Reference. Credo Reference provides a good starting point for any research question, bringing together over 3 million articles in 934 reference works. Don't know where to start? Credo can help that essential brainstorming process with its broad topic pages that just so happen to connect to all of your other favorite library resources. Or you can use the Mind Map feature to connect related topics if you don't know what topic you actually want to write about yet. Credo Reference also offers image search for high-quality images you can actually cite from hundreds of reference works. And it's all free with just your library card. To check out Credo Reference, head over to the digital library page at ebrpl.com.
Thanks, Adam. Credo has been one of my top choices for several years. It covers every subject under the sun. It's not only authoritative and reliable, but it's also attractive and easy to use. and I cannot resist a good mind map. Let's shift gears and check in with Kayla Perkins reporting in from Beyond the Stacks.
Anytime folks get together to celebrate literature in the area, you can bet the library will be there. One event we always attend is the Louisiana Book Festival. Hey Baton Rouge, we're at the 15th Annual Louisiana Book Festival, where the East Baton Rouge Parish Library will reveal the 2019 One Book, One Community selection. Let's check it out. Now in its 15th year, the Louisiana Book Festival is a celebration of Louisiana literature. Appropriately located in Capitol Gardens, this event pulls together local authors from every genre, live events, and entertainment, something for every book lover. The East Baton Rouge Parish Library was there. Some of the staff were even in costume.
My name is Cassie, and I am here with the Outreach Department, being part of the book festival today. I wanted to dress up, I wanted to get people talking, I wanted to get people asking about me so that I could introduce them to our booth and what we do here at the library.
Costumes make any event fun.
I always love the book festival. I like the atmosphere here. I like that there are so many people here. I like that we have fun all day, and I like that we always get to introduce a new book that gets people talking about the library.
And there was a lot to talk about, specifically the One Book, One Community selection.
The Louisiana Book Festival is an excellent opportunity to introduce our One Book, One Community each year. This year it's The Hound of the Baskervilles by Arthur Conan Doyle. It's a mystery set in the Victorian era on the moors of England. It has a fantastic atmosphere, and it gets people, excited about the wonderful opportunities that the library has for people to enjoy reading together.
Even though the One Book, One Community programming won't start until next February, we wasted no time in whipping up interest in the book selection.
In an effort to promote our One Book, One Community selection, we have all of this set up behind us. We are giving out copies of the book, we are giving out candy, we are giving out stickers, we are giving out all kinds of things. We have trivia games, we have lots of things to get people excited about the book and excited about reading together with the community.
We hope you'll join us.
There you have it, The Hound of the Baskervilles by Arthur Conan Doyle is the 2019 One Book, One Community selection. To find out what's coming up next, pick up a copy of the monthly newsletter, The Source, or visit us online at www.evrpl.com.
So now that you know what our One Book, One Community book selection is, get involved. Programming will be posted at the calendar at www.ebrpl.com and inside upcoming issues of the Source newsletter.
The 13th Spring One Book, One Community initiative is sponsored by the East Baton Rouge Parish Library with partner Forum 35 and our patrons of the Public Library Friends Group. The purpose is to encourage community-wide reading and discussion. The series will extend throughout the parish and will include schools, libraries, colleges, businesses, and community groups. Check out the info guide at readonebook.org or visit the library's website to get started. Stay right there. After the break, Brandy Burton joins me for a chat right here on the Library Roadshow.
I'm Zoe Kravitz from Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. Books are magical, and reading can transform your life. Libraries make sure people of all backgrounds can experience the wonder of literature through literacy programs and access to media. Spread the magic by supporting your library.
As an American, it's hard to hear that we have a serious hunger issue in our country. And as a parent, it's even harder to hear that 1 in 5 of our kids struggles with hunger, especially when billions of pounds of good food are wasted every year. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide billions of meals to families in need right in your community. Visit feedingamerica.org to support Feeding America and your local food bank. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Do you wonder how your family landed here? Do you really know your family roots? Discover more about your family history at the East Baton Rouge Parish Library Genealogy Department. East Baton Rouge Parish Library. Become a member and discover more.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. Your whole world changes in an instant. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
You're watching the December edition of the Library Roadshow, everything you need to know about your local library system. Now, one of the things I love about the East Baton Rouge Parish Library System is that for decades, the library's administration and board have demonstrated a sincere passion for teens by dedicating staff, space, and dollars for great collections and great programs just for this very special age group. And it takes a special group of people to work with teens every day. Joining me now is Brandy Burton, Coordinator of Teen Services for the East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. Okay, Brandy, what age group does Teen Services actually deal with? Because we're not really sure sometimes.
It's not so much an age as we do grades 6 through 12.
And there's a big variation between a 6th grader and a 12th grader.
Definitely is a big variation.
So you have to really think about that age spread when you're planning your collections, your programs, everything you're doing.
Yes, and a lot of the things that we do, after teens learn to drive, unfortunately, a lot of times we lose them. So a lot of our programs are geared toward more
that younger
6th through 10th grade, and they tend to do pretty well together. We have a lot of programming every month that we do as far as kind of clubs. Like we have anime clubs at several branches where they watch anime and they eat ramen, and we even offer chopsticks if they want to give it a shot.
Sure, candy, sushi,
candy, sushi, and we, have other kind of Japanese cultural kind of things that we do with that. We also have a lot of STEM related clubs. And
STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math, but when you add the A,
arts,
for arts, you get STEAM. And so throughout the library system, the teen librarians have made a concerted effort to do programming that's not just fun, but slides a little learning in there.
We try.
Every branch has a dedicated teen librarian, teen staff, and every branch offers some other opportunities for teens. For example, we get a lot of teens who are in service clubs. They want to do those volunteer hours.
For a long time, they can work off fines. So
they work off their fines.
If a teen has fines, they can come in and volunteer to work those off at $8 an hour. But also, we've had recently this influx of all of these schools wanting them to do service hours.
Right.
And so we have had volunteers. We've actually had to limit it like 2 a day for whatever days we can handle it.
I've made use of quite a few of those volunteers.
Yes, we have plenty. But we have things for them to do that if they want to, get those hours knocked out.
And while they're here, we encourage them to update their card. They get an idea of some of the resources that we have, not just the free programs, the free computers, the free Wi-Fi, but also the cool spaces and the fabulous book, the manga collections, the DVDs, the whole gamut that they can take home with them.
Right.
One thing that you do that's huge is outreach to the schools, public schools, private schools, parochial schools, independent schools, charter schools.
Right.
What is it that y'all are doing when you go to the schools?
We go to, every year we go to Baton Rouge High, for instance, and we do book talks for them. They have accelerated reader, and so they ask us to come and talk books that may interest the kids to get their accelerated reader points.
So they're like book trailers, book commercials, try to get the kids excited about reading.
Yes, and we have, but while we're there, since, they do it, and sometimes we have a lot of time, we are able to tell them all about the library and Homework Louisiana and Learning Express and all these other things that can help them academically as well as reading, fiction or whatever.
Encourage them to use that free online tutoring service that's open till midnight. I mean, who wouldn't benefit from that? So along with that, when kids come into the library to do their homework or to work on school projects, their most important resource is the staff, because you're going to point them in the right direction. Do they need books? Do they need magazines? Do they need online resources? And what are some of those resources? I love the fact that y'all are using things like opposing viewpoints and culturegrams, Statista.
Those are very good because a lot, and we can tailor like our outreach to talk about what they're doing. We've had teachers call us and say, I need you to come talk to my classes because we're doing
a particular, say,
right.
conservation or something like that.
Right, or they're doing, pro paper or con paper, that kind of persuasive essay type thing. And so we can tell them about opposing viewpoints and give them all of the, resources they need to be able to do that in book form, but mostly online. And that way, unfortunately, it's great for procrastinators because it's open 24
That's
hours.
right.
They can do it, the night before.
So the one-stop shop is really talking to the teen librarian, and then from there, getting the right platform, the right resource that works for you at that moment. Because as you said, there are procrastinators, and that's why tutor.com has the free online tutoring till midnight, Sunday night before school starts on Monday.
That's right, Sunday through Thursday.
Yeah. Now, there's one more thing I wanted to mention. We have dedicated teen space here at the main library, at Bluebonnet, at Fairwood, and as we renovate the branches, all the branches had teen spaces, but they weren't rooms. Right. So as we're going for right now, the Greenwell Springs branch is being renovated. The teens are going to end up with their own room with a door. They can hang out in that room, and you can see that the space is definitely teen-centric. It's going to be the chairs and the furnishings that teens like. It's not going to be for a grandma like me.
Unfortunately, grandmas like it, and we kind of have to tell them to go away unless they have teens with them.
Right,
but,
because we grandmas have our own space.
They do.
Let the teens have the teen space.
I try.
Yeah.
I try to keep that.
Well, how do we find out more about teen services?
You can go online to www.ebrpl.com and click on the teen.
There's a teen webpage.
Yes.
And there's also teen events in the monthly newsletter and in the online calendar.
And you can call any branch.
That's right.
Ask for a teen person. I'm doing my utmost to keep them trained on all of the newest stuff, and we go over it at every meeting to, teen services meeting with the librarians to try and get them to to know what's important and what they need to be able to tell, the rest of the teens or, any patron that has inquiries about teen services.
After the break, we'll be talking with Pamela Gauthier. Plus, we have book reviews from one of our younger patrons. All that and more coming up next on the Library Roadshow.
Do you wonder how your family landed here? Do you really know your family roots? Discover more about your family history at the East Baton Rouge Parish Library Genealogy Department. East Baton Rouge Parish Library. Become a member and discover more.
I'm Zoe Kravitz from Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Books are magical, and reading can transform your life. Libraries make sure people of all backgrounds can experience the wonder of literature through literacy programs and access to media. Spread the magic by supporting your library.
Welcome back to the December edition of the Library Roadshow. If you're a regular at our Jones Creek branch, you might already know my next guest. Pamela Gauthier from Heartune Creations presents workshops for aspiring poets on a regular basis. Pamela joins me now by phone to discuss her latest book. Pamela, how did you get started as an author?
I started writing poetry as a way to uplift the hearts of those that were discouraged. I also wrote to encourage those in nursing homes and shelters. Before I knew it, I could write poems anytime I wanted to write, as I was inspired and the words just fell into place. About 5 years ago, a business was born called Heartune Creations. Its purpose is to create poetry based on the purchaser's heart's desire and to deliver a timely message for the fitting occasion.
What is this book about?
The poems are about different titles that reach a broad spectrum of subjects such as holidays, events, weddings, funerals, and whatever subject matter that is important to the reader. Each poem is individually sold separately.
What inspired you to write this book?
The poems were inspired by wanting to have a tool in which to encourage those ones who may be found in a downtrodden, heartbroken, or sad situation. They were also inspired by those that were ready for maybe marriage and felt overjoyed. And again, a message for hope for those that needed to feel as if someone else cared or could relate or identify with their particular situation.
How can folks learn more about you, and what are you working on next?
Most of the time, the poetry is on display at the Jones Creek Library. Other than that, I can be contacted at hearttooncreations@gmail.com. I am working on new collections for the nearest holiday and also always working on personalized poetry to meet each specific need when asked.
Thanks, Pamela. We love that you write poetry from the heart. Let's take a moment now to meet with one of our younger patrons to find out what they're reading at the library.
Hi, my name is De'Evan Bailey. I'm 11 and my favorite book is Diary of the Wimpy Kid. I like Diary of the Wimpy Kid because this is the original series of first beginner story. It's about Greg and his friends and his big brother. And his big brother is always picking on him. First of all, let me get something straight. This is a journal, not a diary. I know what it says on the cover, but when my mom went out to buy this thing, I specifically told her to get me one that doesn't say diary on it. Great. All I need is some jerk to catch me carrying this book around and get the wrong idea. When I come to the library, I like to check out books to read, and I like checking out I like to check out my car because I have my own car.
Thanks, De'Evan. Keep on reading. There's plenty more where that book came from. Stay right there. You're watching the December edition of the Library Roadshow.
Do you wonder how your family landed here? Do you really know your family roots? Discover more about your family history at the East Baton Rouge Parish Library Genealogy Department. East Baton Rouge Parish Library. Become a member and discover more.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Hey, I'm Constance Wu. Did you know that Crazy Rich Asians was a book before it became a movie? You can still find books at the library, but libraries have so much more, including educational programs for families and opportunities for community engagement and professional development. So visit your library today.
Welcome back. You're watching the December edition of the Library Roadshow, a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. Genealogy is one of the hottest hobbies of the 21st century. There's even a small tourist industry built up around it. And even if you've already made good progress researching your own family tree, as new resources become available, there are fresh clues to follow. And the best place to start? A visit with library staff in the Baton Rouge room, of course. It's all available at the main library on Goodwood, and it's free with your East Baton Rouge Parish Library card.
Hello, my name is David Lodge, and I am the genealogy librarian for the East Baton Rouge Parish Library. We are located in the Special Collections Department on the second floor of the main library at Goodwood, where Baton Rouge history comes alive. For many of us, genealogy is a hobby, a way of learning about ourselves, a way to explore our identity and discover who we are by discovering the lives of those who came before us. Some people set out to find famous or illustrious ancestors, some to find out who their immigrant ancestors were and where they came from. For some, though, the connection runs deeper. Just a few weeks ago, a woman came into our department looking for information on her great-great-grandmother, Agatha. Agatha had been born a slave in New Orleans, but had been freed by her owner. Agatha had also borne 4 children named for a Frenchman called Jean Vien. Our task was to find out who owned and then freed Agatha, and the exact nature of their relationship between her and Vien. To do this, we looked in some of our many African American resources. We started by looking for her name in the Freedmen's Bureau. The Bureau was established after the Civil War to provide assistance to the millions of newly freed slaves in the form of legal aid, as well as material assistance in the form of food and transportation. They also kept meticulous records, and many African American families are first recorded there. We then looked in another database, the Historical Archives of the Free People of Color in Louisiana. Agatha was going to be hard to find. We found our first record of her in a book on our shelves, New Orleans Register of Free People of Color, 1840-1864. Here she is, the last entry on this page, showing her with 4 children, Leon, Arthur, Victoire, and Marie, and also showing her emancipation in March of 1863. Using this information, I found the will of Jean Vien, where he, as his last act, frees his slave Agatha and her children Leon, Arthur, Victoire, and Marie, as well as an unnamed unborn child. This child turned out to be our patron's great-great-grandfather. Using the resources available to us, we were able to fill in a missing piece of this woman's ancestry, as well as answer her questions about the origin of her family name and who freed her ancestors and why. Do you have a similar story? To find out, come by the genealogy department of the East Baton Rouge Parish Library, located in the Baton Rouge Room in the main library. We look forward to seeing you.
This month, I've been reading along with LPB's Pride and Prejudice series. I just can't get enough of Miss Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy. It was the 4th place finisher on the list for the Great American Read. Jane Austen's fabulous characters and witty repartee make it worth rereading every year. And now for today's contest, visit the library's Facebook page at facebook.com/EBRPL. What special holiday traditions do you share with your family? We alternate in reading the Cajun Night Before Christmas and the more traditional version. And we love those I Spy books. How do you spend a little quiet time with the young ones? Post a shelfie or two. That's facebook.com/EBRPL. And while you're there, enjoy. We're not your grandfather's library anymore. What's coming up on the Library Roadshow in January? I'll clue you in and let you know what you can expect for 2019.
It's a brand new year and the library wants to help you put your best foot forward. So I'll be checking in with expert organizer Alyssa Trustclair.
And coming up next month, I'll share another digital resource with you.
Thanks so much for joining us on the Library Roadshow. And remember, your East Baton Rouge Parish Library is open 7 days a week at each and every one of 14 branches, plus 24/7 on the web. Check us out at ebrpl.com.
And that's how I roll.